Hi, I'm Lori from Bee in My Bonnet, and I'm going to show you how to sew these rectangles on to this little Great Granny block from my book Great Granny Squared, so that we can get ready to square the blocks. So I don't really use pins when I do this section. All I do is I'm going to put the squares here kind of in the center, but I can't really see the center because the navy blue blends, but I can down here because this will hang over 1/4 of an inch. So I just kind of eyeball it right here. It doesn't have to be exactly centered because we trim it off anyway. So what I do is I just start sewing, and then this is the point where I'll, just kind of get them centered even with the edge. And then I'll just continue sewing all the way to the end. And at this point, I'll probably put a leaders and enders in, you know how I do. But I'll just continue sewing around, or you can even just lift it up, leave your thread hanging a little bit, and place another one there. And once again, start sewing on the corner. So you could pivot on the corners, you could do whatever you wanted to do if you don't use leaders and enders. It doesn't matter if this flap is down, we're just worried about this seam right here. But I do like to lift it up just to see that there's about the same amount hanging over on both sides of the center square. This is just a quick way so you don't have to measure and pin. I don't want you to think that, you really have to go through a lot of trouble to put these on. All you really have to do is make sure that they're across the center enough that they're in the right point where you can square them up, and also to remember that you do need to use a 1/4 inch seam. So I use my angler here that's always taped on my sewing table. And I snip off my little leaders and enders. And then this way you can just press it back, all 4 of these rectangles, so that you can lay the 6.5 inch square ruler on there and square it up for the Great Granny along. Okay, so once you have these 4 sewn on here, all you have to do is press them back this way and give your block a nice flat press so that you can use the 6.5 inch creative grids, center it up, and then go ahead and trim it up so that you have your block for the Great Granny Squared book.